Alrighty, joining us now we have Gareth G Money Williams. Hello, Gareth.
Hi. I'm more excited than anyone in the gym, even Amanda, who's like a school kid on Yop or something.
Is this your first time commentating?
This is my first time commentating. Yes.
I'm really looking forward to this.
I do a lot of it in my head while I'm watching people.
Absolutely. So we're going to be bringing a game coming up. Unfortunately, I don't have a schedule handy, so I'm not going to be able to see who it is. But I see the Monstars court. I'm assuming that they're going to be playing.
Oh, good.
On the other side of the court, I know that group of players. Do you know what team name they're playing under?
I should, because we played them in our first game. I want to say they were the Avengers at one point.
That's the thing, is actually, so fun backstory here. So we have Victor Nguyen and AJ Smith and Akita Lewis and Aaron Olivier Job, all of whom were on Avengers Initiative, who have then, I've got a schedule brought to me.
Oh, sweet.
And they left Avengers Initiative to form another team with Tim DeLorme, formerly the captain of Outlaws. That was some real fun.
Yep.
Tim DeLorme, after Western has left Outlaws and formed a team with these guys. I unfortunately don't know the name of the man in the green shirt.
Oh, maybe it's something Swedish. He has a laser beam for a throw.
Absolutely. That man has a wicked throw. His catching ability is great. Somehow he's knee pads.
No knee pads. You're not serious about dodgeball until you wear knee pads.
I always just call him Sven when we're playing against him.
He looks like a Sven.
We're gonna
he
call
looks
him
like
Sven.
A painter from the 90s, sensitive, someone that might be in like a Bon Jovi video.
Oh, painter, like an artist painter.
Yeah,
I was
yeah.
thinking somebody like paints houses.
Oh,
I thought,
maybe.
Okay, that's an interesting way. Is
That's
that
a good
what
job.
painters look like? Yeah, he looks like somebody who could teach you about yourself.
Right.
Absolutely. And beside him, we've got AJ Smith, the man who really caught the dodgeball bug. If I'm not mistaken, I believe he's a bricklayer.
Is he?
Yeah, so that would
That's-
make sense where his fitness comes from.
And how he's able to punch the gym floor
Yeah.
at full force without worrying about breaking his hands.
Very dramatic player. I do
Yes.
enjoy watching him play.
Because,
If he feels like he's screwed up, he'll just throw himself out. It's great.
Throw himself to the ground, do handstands, whatever.
I believe this is Reapers.
Reapers. Okay.
Yeah, so they actually have a really strong lineup. It looks like Tim DeLorme there basically just sniped the top talent from Avengers.
Pretty much.
Yeah. And then the guy sitting on the bench, unfortunately, I didn't learn his name at Westerns because he was playing under somebody else's name with somebody else's jersey on because of a player who couldn't make it out.
Oh, right.
Also, good talent there too.
And we have Taylor Mante down here giving me the eyeballs.
Yeah.
When his sweaty towel.
Taylor Element, the man known for leaving his back print on the wall.
The third sweatiest man in dodgeball.
Oh, and
Oh,
Eldon Wu.
chaos.
Look at that was just a beautiful start to this game. So what happened there was right off the opening rush, Eldon Wu goes and takes a shot on Aaron Olivier Job, gets countered, but then it looks like Smith also gets taken out at the same time. Alfaro connecting on Lewis there, putting it past his blocking ball, leaving this already at 3-on-3.
This is the game you don't want to play against the Monstars, is a chaotic trade game.
Yeah.
That's what they want.
They will beat you at it. Their court awareness is unreal. Oh, sorry, I didn't notice that we have Dubuque and Moises hanging out behind the back three, so it's actually 5-on-3. I was wondering where the other players got knocked out. They did not. So Monstars, just beautiful court awareness. Their team cohesion is just second to none.
They've been playing together a long time.
Yeah.
With a few exceptions.
We were talking before about how TMH is the women's team to beat. Monstars, they've been the top dogs winning the tournaments.
Oh, huge catch by Tim.
And look at that double hit off of Alfaro into Moises.
See how quickly a dodgeball game could change.
Absolutely. So that puts Reapers at a 3-2 advantage up against Dupasquier and Yarjao. Arguably the two best players in Winnipeg. And they get a nice hit on Nguyen, putting it down to 2-all. Tim DeLorme, there's a man who just gets all of his wins out of players underestimating him.
He's a very unassuming figure on the court. Throw anything near him, he'll catch it.
All right, Smith there looking to make something happen. See, now we're back to 2-on-1 with Monstars having the advantage. just swinging back and forth this round. Given that this, I believe, is Reaper's first time out to a tournament, I would already call this a win for them, just how well they're doing.
Oh.
All right.
And there he goes with his trademark temper.
So let's talk about what Smith did there. He picked up that third ball, and that meant that he had to hold that ball in his arms, realistically only giving him one ball to block with.
Right. What I do, 2-on-1, get in a corner, 2 balls. You make yourself the smallest target as possible. You get ball control, then you can take the line.
I would actually say that that wasn't even a mistake by Smith. That was a mistake by his ball retriever. They should not have sent that third ball to him.
Oh, ball's up.
And see, when they're saying he didn't activate that ball, so the play they hit is not out, that's some great sportsmanship from him there. They're calling a play. Looks like they're calling Lewis to throw. Both balls going high. Sven taking left guard.
Sven also left-handed, and that's a real bonus in dodgeball.
Especially if you're playing on the left side of the court now, because you're able to come across your body when you're throwing into the court. One of the reasons why righties do so well in the right guard position. Although I've spoken to some right-handed people who like to play left guard, and they say they like it because the way that they stand to throw allows them to face inside the court.
Yes, Sean Oko on my team. He always wants left guard.
And they're putting a ball out. In a big open, yes, unfortunately, balls will come in from other courts. Moises there not checking on Delorme. Putting a ball at Ducat.
Oh, Sven with the catch.
Whatever that man's name is.
We should really learn his name because he's amazing.
His name is now Sven. So that reactivates Olivier Job. Olivier Job there played on Heatwave last year in provincials. Heatwave actually took Monstars into sudden death overtime in the first round of playoffs, almost knocking out the team.
Oh yeah, I remember.
That won the whole tournament. No bias at all for me, who was on Heatwave that year. I'm also now on what's left of Heatwave. Basically what happened in Manitoba in 2019 was really interesting. All of the men's teams just kind of turned into a primordial ooze, and from them emerged a bunch of top talent teams. Delorme with a counter from Moises, who hit him while he was charging. Did he actually call him Sven? I heard him call him Sven. Oh, look at that shot on Dubuque. Now, for the longest time, I was calling him Denim Dubuque, but it's actually Dubuque.
Dubuque. Huh.
Dubuque.
I've been playing against Denim for about 10 years. He was a monster in Rec League.
Now he's a Monstar.
Now he's a Monstar. He had this spin throw, and you'd think you could hit him while he was spinning, but you couldn't.
So Denim Dubuque held the Winnipeg hardest male throw for about a year and a half. I believe it was 124 kilometers an hour with his left arm. And the craziest part is he was throwing 90 with his right arm. 90 is still a very respectable throw.
Very respectable, yes.
Now, unfortunate thing about Dubuque is he's just been plagued by injuries over the years. So what happens when you play a high-intensity sport, especially one that's very high-impact like dodgeball. In 2015, I believe he had a couple slipped discs, or herniated discs in his back. I know that he's always been trying to maintain his shoulder, his back, his elbow.
He's also well into his whatever age I am.
30s?
And 30s. And when you hurt things at that age, things stay hurt.
All right, so you may be wondering why Alfaro and Olivier Job didn't go out there, and that's because their balls collide in midair, and when two balls coming from opposite teams collide in they are canceled out. Now you notice Austin Wood's a new addition to Monstars lineup, and I noticed Mike Garcia is absent.
He is. I'm not exactly sure.
Well, he's
what
not playing in this tournament.
I would say Mike Garcia is maybe one of the hardest people to get out in a one-on-one.
Well,
of all time.
Mike Garcia is a good result of when we used to play with 8.5-inch foam, and he really threw his arm out and never truly recovered from it. So what he did instead was just become the best catcher in the province. And that man is so unbelievably hard to hit out with a ball because he can catch it regardless of what he's doing. And he still can throw, but he generally chooses not to. You notice he passes the offense off to other teammates.
Which is not a problem if you're on the Monstars.
Absolutely.
There's plenty of people that want to throw.
Yeah, and with the addition of a young gun like Austin Woods, they're bringing in a young, unbroken body. Actually, that's not true. In Nationals this year, his body was plenty broken. I understand he had something pulled in his back. Delorme looking for that ball. Getting hit out. Monstars punishing him for that. Smith getting the ball now. 3-on-4.
Oh, and they've let the ball roll over.
They were all faking, and unfortunately nobody retrieved. The ball there connecting with tournament organizer Amanda First. Moises calling a play to Woods. Moises taking the shot. Woods ready for the counter.
It's always tricky when you call the play and you're calling yourself to throw. You better make that hit.
Oh, and that ball bounces before it connects. Wu coming up there to try to provide some protection, but the ball in his left hand, nobody believing that he's going to throw. But he did what he was supposed to. He started pumping. Oh, and Smith getting called on a line out. All right, looks like Element calling a straight counter. And Woods connecting on Wynn, leaving just Lewis for a 1-on-3. Unfortunately, this is not the time to be trading. Woods coming up there getting a little bit greedy.
Very aggressive.
You can get greedy when it's 3-on-1. And Element connecting there. Element with just some beautiful counters. Playing that right guard position very well. Coach Nick DeVille coming in to discuss with them.
Coach Nick, who at last year's Go tournament retired, I believe. There was a cake. And I heard a rumor that he's signed up for Draft League.
He has?
Coming out of retirement like
Well, he played in Westerns.
Brett
and
Favre.
I think he had too much fun.
Too much fun and his body didn't give way.
All right, explain to me why it's pronounced Favre when it's the V comes before the R.
I don't. Is
Shouldn't
it
it
Belgian?
be Favre or Favre?
Favre.
Brett Favre.
I believe that's what they call him in There's Something About Mary.
All right. So opening rush there. Reaper's taking it real safe. Look at those trades there. So let's see what happened. Yarjow gets knocked out, and Olivier Job gets knocked out, leaving Reapers with the better end of that exchange.
Yeah.
All right. The referee had whistled, so he's calling the players safe.
It is loud in here, so it's hard to hear the whistle sometimes.
Yeah. It's also hard to tell if it's your court or one of the other two courts where they're whistling. Smith there trying to get himself amped. Lewis getting hit on the counter. He left himself vulnerable, but he did hit Wu. And here we have a left-handed player playing the right guard position. So you see how that opens his body into the court. Unfortunately, not able to block. There's just so much talent in Manitoba now. It used to really be, there would only be one or two, maybe three teams per gender that were really contenders. Now we've got full tournaments where it really seems like any of the teams.
Oh yeah, and the more tournaments like this there are during the year, you have a reason to practice, right? And really a top-level team should be practicing all the time.
Yeah. A lot of teams started practicing right around the beginning of the summer, with the rest of the teams starting to practice at the end of the summer.
Oh,
And
Sven with
hitting
the hit.
Dubuque. Oh, it's just Sven against Woods and Element. On a dirty block from Sven.
Still throwing himself on the ground without knee pads.
Yeah, you know, I just cry for that man's MCL.
Something interesting happening here is Austin Woods is wearing a regular baseball cap. He's known for his bucket hats.
It's true.
But across the court, Victor is wearing, I don't know what you'd call that.
Would that be a fishing hat?
Fishing hat?
Yeah.
Much too large for his head.
I'm almost wondering if he's been doing that to taunt Woods. It's questionable as to whether or not that ball from Wu was activated. And it's also questionable as to whether or not Smith blocked it. Referee not calling anything, so I think that might have been what the players were interacting a bit about there. Alfaro with the catch on Sven. Alfaro calling a play. Yarjiao repeating it.
And Clarence would be an example of a left-hander playing right guard.
Yes, absolutely. And his body's open into the court, which means that he's going to be facing into everybody who might be countering him. So there's advantages to both sides of it. It's just that it can hurt your shoulder more to be taking those inside shots. Oh, and the ball pops up off of Yarjiao. And even Dubuque, who's what, like 6'3"? Not tall enough to jump for that. There's a man who, if he needed to, could really summon the vertical.
He can throw himself into the air from his belly.
Yeah, Denim Dubuque was the sole Manitoban who made Team Canada in 2018, but unfortunately was not activated for the World Championships. Oh, and counter takes out Wu. Oh, Lewis getting called out by the referee, leaving just Gwynn and unfortunately this nameless, numberless player.
Also a lefty.
Dupasquier, I have to say, is a man who's finally started getting recognized for his skill. Player who got snubbed in the 2018 tournament, felt like he deserved to be there, so he just went, he trained, and he worked out, found himself a team, the top team.
One of the most natural catchers.
Yes, and he's really good at throwing without looking at his target, so he'll be focused on someone and throw at somebody else. He's the kind of guy who can just, shot from Dubuque. It looked like it was going to curve, and then it didn't.
I just think sometimes Denim decides you should be hit, and you're hit. There's nothing you can do.
I used to refer to that man as having 3D aim.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it.
Yeah. So I am now going to be off to go play my own game. And so I hope that you really enjoy.
Are we not playing each other, Stacy?
I believe we might be.
Okay.
So with any luck, somebody will be up here talking about what we're doing. I hope you lose.
Yes, you as well.
See you on the court.